The silence of departure. Elena Morozova had always been a quiet child, but silence took on a new meaning the day her mother signed away her future. The transaction was dressed in fine words: opportunity, a better life, security beyond these cold streets. But Elena knew what it truly was: a sale. She was no longer a daughter, no longer a woman with dreams of her own. She was a commodity. Her mother, Natalia, avoided her gaze when she handed over the papers to the agency. The ink dried, sealing Elena's fate. There was no protest, no dramatic cry, only stillness. If she screamed, it would change nothing. If she begged, her mother would still close her heart. And so Elena swallowed her words, locking them in a place deeper than her soul. The ship to America loomed at the dock, iron gray against the churning waters. Elena stood in her worn coat, a small trunk by her side, as the cold wind whipped her hair into her face. The other women chattered nervously, some giggling with false excitement, others weeping into their handkerchiefs. Elena said nothing. Her silence was a wall. If no words escaped, then no one could see how much she bled inside. Her destination was a man named Ivan Morozov, a wealthy merchant who had left Russia years ago. The irony stung. They shared a surname, but there was no kinship between them. Only a contract. He had paid generously, her mother had accepted, and Elena was the currency exchanged. When the ship docked in New York, Elena was met by Ivan himself. He was taller than she expected, broad-shouldered, with a face carved from stern lines. His eyes were cool, appraising her as one might inspect a parcel to ensure it had not been damaged in transit. He extended his hand, firm but formal. "Elena," he said, his voice low, deliberate. She inclined her head, took his hand briefly, and followed without a word. The carriage ride to his estate was long, the silence between them heavy. Ivan did not seem bothered. He spoke occasionally about the estate, about the land he had purchased, about the workers he employed. Elena listened, her hands folded neatly in her lap, her gaze fixed on the passing countryside. She gave no reply, not out of defiance, but because words felt foreign on her tongue. The house itself was imposing, a grand structure of stone and wood, standing proud against the winds that swept across the valley. Servants hurried to take her trunk, their eyes flicking curiously at the new bride who did not smile, did not chatter, did not even lower her gaze in shyness. Elena simply moved with measured grace, her silence both armor and burden. That night, as they sat across from one another at the long dining table,